Hello everyone, I'm going to do a full iMovie tutorial covering all of the things that you need to know when editing on the Mac version of iMovie. I mentioned it in my beginner editing software video, so if you'd like to hear how I feel about it, click that video, which is in the top right corner of the video. Anyway, let's get into the tutorial. So starting by how to make a project. If you open up iMovie, you'll see the plus symbol. And by the way, you won't see these other projects that you've made if you're opening up iMovie for the first time. Or clips inside of the media pool, which will appear later. So don't worry about your iMovie looking the same as mine or not. So if you click on this plus, you'll see two options: to create a trailer or to create a movie. Creating a movie has so much more flexibility, and even if you want to make a movie trailer, you can still make it here. And it would be better because it will have all your editing rather than just importing clips and changing text. So click the movie button and you'll see this view. And before we get into editing, I'll show you what everything here does. Starting with the timeline. Do you see it at the bottom? This is where you'll do all your editing, like cutting clips, deleting clips, and more. This is also where you'll view elements in your project. Moving on to the area where you'll see tabs like Photos, My Movie, and then the project number or whatever you named your project, and more. Just click on the project that you're currently working on, which in my case is My Movie 2. Here, it'll give you an option to import media, which we'll do when I'm explaining everything's purpose to you. Now, there are the tabs above the media pool right here. Let's take a look inside them. Starting off with the audio and video tab. Inside of it, there are a bunch of sound effects in the sound effects tab and other media in the other tabs if you have media available. Now moving on to the titles tab. I'll talk to you about these titles later in the video. Now we're in the backgrounds tab. This is where you can use these videos as backgrounds. Again, I'll talk about this section and how to use it later in this video. And finally, there's the transitions tab. These are the things that you put to get from one clip to another clip, but while being smooth. Now, let's get into the viewing area. This is where you'll watch your video and edit certain parameters. But this is all of the editing software parts that we need to know for this tutorial. So let's get into this tutorial. Let's start by importing some media. To do this, simply click the arrow button on the top left of your screen, here or here. From here, you can select your files from your Mac, whether they be video clips, photos, or even audio files. Once you've selected your files, click Import All, and done. Your files will appear in the media pool for you to use. Now let's start editing. Drag and drop the clips you want to use from the media pool onto the timeline. But as you can see right now, they're out of my view. So if you want to see the entire thing, press Command- to make it smaller or Command+ to make it larger. But I'm going to keep it like this. You can rearrange them, trim them, or even split them by pressing where you want to split it, like here, and then pressing on the clip and then clicking Command-B. Try to trim the boring parts from the beginning, end, and middle of the clip. Play around with this until you're happy with it. Now let's explore the Titles tab. Titles are a great way to add some content or to introduce different sections of your video. Drag and drop a video onto your timeline. Place it over the clip where you want the title to appear and simply double click on it to edit the text. You'll see that iMovie has a variety of styles for you to choose from. Everything from simple subtitles to more dynamic animated options. Now, onto the Backgrounds tab. These backgrounds can be used for a variety of things, such as creating title screens, filling in gaps in your video, or even using it as a background for your clip, which I'll show you how to do later in this video when we go over the overlay section. Drag a background onto your timeline and then play around with the duration and placement until you're happy with it if you want to add a background. Now let's discuss transitions. Transitions can help to smooth out the change from one clip to the next, making your video flow better. You can find them in the Transitions tab. Simply drag and drop a transition between two clips in your timeline. iMovie offers a variety of transition styles, from simple fades and dissolves to more elaborate wipes and slides. There's also a way to adjust how long the transitions take. Right-click the transition and click the Show Precision Editor button. Or click your transition and press Command/. From here, you can adjust like this and choose which length you'd like. For now, I'd like this, and when you're finished adjusting, click Close Precision Editor. The second to last area I want to cover is the viewing area right here. As you're editing, you can use this area to preview your project. You can also use it to make more precise edits. For example, if you click on a clip in your timeline, you can use the viewing area to adjust things like color balance, stabilization, or even add effects and filters. And finally, the overlay section. If you want to add an overlay on a clip, drag the clip on top of the clip that you want to have the overlay over. I'm just going to trim it here. Then on the right of these tabs, you'll see the new tab. This will be the overlay section. Click on it and then click the drop-down menu that's defaulted to cutaway and select how you want to have your clip overlaid. In my case, I'm just going to do picture-in-picture, and I'm going to adjust this to be in the top right, but with a good size, like this. And here, if you want it to fade in and out on both sides, you can drag here, but I'm going to turn it off so that it looks like I appear immediately in the top right corner. And that's it. Now got a solid understanding of how to use iMovie on your Mac. Remember, the best way to get better at editing is to practice, so don't be afraid to play around with and experiment with different tools and features. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and happy editing. But before I end the video, I want to show you how to export your project to one file. So what you want to do is go and click on this thing in the very top right of your window and click on it. It's the share section. Then you want to click File and then choose which resolution you'd like. 1080p is currently the highest one that's available in this menu. And now I'm going to turn up the quality to the best quality, which is called ProRes. But if you want, you can click Custom and do how many megabytes per second you want to do. For now, I'm going to click ProRes. And rather than clicking Compress and making it faster, I'm going to make it better quality. And you can choose this as your title and this as a description and tags, but for now I'm going to leave them default. Then click Next. Then you can check the file size and the time that it takes for you to render. For now, I'm just going to click Next. Now, you can name the file however you want, but I'm going to name mine Example for some reason because I don't know how to spell example. Now, you can choose where you want to save it. I'm just going to save it on my desktop and then click Save. And it should export here. Thank you for watching. And there's nothing else to cover in this tutorial. That means it's coming to an end. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.